I'll shut up. I had a magazine in Seoul called Rock On Magazine, and we never sold any advertisements except for one time, and that was to a guy who had healing crystals. And we at that time we had 3,000 circulation, so we had a pretty good circulation, and we sold it to him. And then he was so mad when we saw him the next day or next few days because he didn't get any response. So that's my run in with the guy with someone with crystals. So I thought that was fun.
Hi, Michael Thomas. Join in. We have one more seat here. Yeah, that's kind of cool to have that. I mean, I love crystals. I have crystals like this or like this. So I use them to align the energies in a person. And yeah, so this is what I'm doing. So I'm waiting also for my co-host, Heidi, and I'm going to put that link on here to her chat. Let's see what it does. Okay. So how do you express yourself?
Oh, I do it in lots of different ways. I'm a creative person, and I love to be creative. That's what keeps me going. Makes me live. That's what makes life worth living, is being creative.
Yeah. So what do you create exactly? Do you do
experiences? I create experiences.
Oh, cool. Cool.
I like to produce things. I like to be the guy that keeps the party going. So I'm like I know myself well enough to know that under the right circumstances, I can be charismatic, and I can make people have an enjoyable experience. No, I'm not for everybody. Like, some people don't like me. One person called me the biggest troll on Blab, which is not true, but some people don't like me. But I know myself well enough to know that because the community is so small, that I can be someone that everybody knows, and I can provide quality content. So I write, I take pictures. I have several shows on Blab, and
cool. I'm just going to say hello to Mark Burris. Thank you for joining us here. Come on in if you'd like. Yeah, I mean, I love creating. I'm an artist, right? I could do drawings like that. I've shown some of the drawings online directly, and I like to create. And why I am creating is that it helps to overcome stress, right? It just makes so much motivation to have creativity going and knowing what to do with the creative forces inside, like energy work and stuff like that.
But see, I don't mean to interrupt, but I don't see it that way. It's not something that I'm using for relaxation. It's just who I am. Like, it's not like a separate part of my existence. I am creative, and I do creative things just by my nature.
Hi, Mark.
Hello.
Of course. I mean, I don't need to tell you how you are going to do your creativity, and that's why we're on the Blab here, to see everyone's opinion and what they do about it. So how do you feel when you create?
I get a natural high. I'm sorry if that's my fan. I apologize. My fan on my computer. So that's the noise that you hear. I just create it gives me a natural high. That's why when I create something, I feel good. It gives me a natural high, and the endorphin rush, and that's why I do it, because it makes me feel good.
Yeah, great. And what about you, Mark?
Well, I play guitar. Guitar.
Great.
And I get a lot of enjoyment out of that. But it's nice to see people be creative with all different things. I mean, a lot of people like yourself, you're being creative here, getting us all together, talking about it, which is very creative.
I mean, we're all. We need to connect with each other,
Right, exactly.
and then talking about topic that is we are passionate about. And what do you do in normal life, Mark?
And my day job, I help people stop smoking cigarettes.
Oh, good. You're a hypnotherapist, right?
Well, I organize but I organize a group of them because people are, scattered throughout the country.
Right.
But that in itself is creative because I'm talking to them and I'm encouraging them and not preaching to them. So I'm enjoying the creative aspect of that probably, more than I realize. But the main thing is that, like you were saying, everybody has their own creativity, and we don't want to. Some people like the feeling that they get from being creative. Some people like helping others with their creativity. We all get something different out of it, and that's kind of the best thing to talk about or the different benefits of creativity, because it's not like Shelton was saying. It helps to get our happy drugs. The dopamines and endorphins and all this going through our makes us feel good. It makes us smile. It makes us happy. But there are a lot of things. A lot of people are creative with helping other people. There's another Blab on right now about getting a fundraiser together to get a kid a new computer, and a kid that's pretty popular here on Blab. He needs a new computer and he can't afford it, and he's 14, and so some of the other people are getting creative and they're putting together a fundraiser to do this, and it makes them feel good. So I think, to Shelton's point, it's the good feeling that you get from being creative can't be overstated.
Yeah, I agree totally with you. Heidi, can you speak?
I don't see her.
Yeah, she has a hard time to get in. This is my co-host. We do a show every week on Connections Forum or Hangout on Connection on Google+. So
well, I would boot her and let her try again.
Yeah, okay.
She might need to refresh.
Okay, I type it in here. Okay, there we go. Did that again. Yeah, this is the technology here. We need to be on tack with everything and be creative with finding solutions, right? Yeah, yep. And we have Sunday Vidal here also, and Mariposa Pisky from probably some kind of Spanish or Brazilian, I don't know. And yeah, so when I discovered creativity in my life, it was when I was just a little baby, because both my parents were artists and also academics, right? So we got to play with crayons and play, and I'm the oldest of 5 children. So it's like I get into creativity quite right away. And I was on another Blab this morning about for graphic designers and photographers and stuff like that. And I learned a lot. It was kind of very interesting, actually. Yeah. And I'm also a certified hypnotherapist. So that's like, we have something in common there, Mark.
That's great.
And I agree with you, Shelton, that you get high on creating things like coming up with new ideas, coming up with designs. There could be visual, video, art pieces, jewelry, any kind of thing like that. So I create these healing jewelry also.
or creating a new relation.
Yes, right. Okay, go ahead.
I hear a little bit of an echo. I was a little older when I got involved. When I realized I was creative, I was like 35. There she is.
Hi, Heidi.
Hello, can you see us?
Heidi. Here I am.
Okay.
Good.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
there she is.
I was about 30. I was about 35, and
Yeah.
I realized that I can sing, I can take pictures, I can write, I can organize, I can develop content, I can develop relationships with creative people. I'm really good at developing relationships with creative people. Like that's a knack. I have a knack for cultivating talent, if you will. And
Yeah,
I really enjoy doing that. That's something I enjoy working with creative people because I'm simpatico with them, and I understand the what creative people need in their lives, and I give them plenty of space to be creative, and I sort of like manage them to put them in where they need to be, and that's why if I have a blab, I like to step out of the blab and be the producer. But that's just my person. That's just my personality. That's just what I like to do.
Yeah. And Mari Pospic, I can't pronounce it. Sorry. She is from Argentina. Yes. And Heidi, you are from?
I am from Germany, but I am in Italy. So.
And I live in Kingston, Ontario, born in Sweden. How about you guys?
I'm in Richmond, Virginia.
Okay. And Mark?
I'm in Orange County, California.
Oh, you have hot climate now, right?
Yeah, it's a little too hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think creativity it's a gift, and I'm not saying that it's. I'm not talking about being born with a gift. I'm saying the act of creativity is to create, and to create implies to make something, and so that in itself is a gift, and it could be a gift to yourself. It could be a gift to others. It's really what a synonym for life. I mean, many people, just they don't create, and they feel entitled for other people to create for them, but which is fine. But when we create, and especially when we create for others, I think we truly understand. I'm sure like all your crystals, Margherita. It must be really enjoyable to give them to people as a gift.
Yeah, for sure.
Like say you had a special one that was just you're just compelled to give a certain person. Like maybe you see a color, maybe you see some people say they see the color purple in me, and I've had people give me purple crystals and things,
right.
And say, this is your color. I want to give this to you. And so that for you is being creative is part of your communication.
Well, I actually use the crystals like something like this.
I'm sure.
This is a huge, it's called a teacher crystal with the little small crystals here. I see them as tuning forks, like anything in the universe have a vibration because of the submolecular movements and vibrations. So when you can feel an energy from that, and it's actually always uplifting. So then you copy and paste that inside, and then wow, I can feel that energy. Some people can't, but they might do it later on. So it's not really a woo thing. I think it's the crystals. There's lots of people loving crystals, and what I do with them, I'm taking pictures of them and create patterns in images so that I could use them as mind training tools. And I give that to my clients, and then I give them some practices with these images to focus on them. First of all, of course, it's just like, okay, my focus on this image, and then to calm the mind, right? But then when they know a little bit more about the crystals, then they can move the energies in the body, like yogic practices, right? So you introduce something very little first, and then we can go deeper, right? Heidi, would you like to say something about your creativity?
Yeah, no, first of all, I would ask everybody who's in the room to be creative and click on the Tell a Little Bird on the left side so that other people know about this blab we are doing here.
Good point.
Okay, and my creativity, it's, I think, a little bit everywhere, but I'm not so creative as Margherita in gems or in design or these things. I like to be very creative in cooking, for instance.
Yeah, I'm going to come over to Italy and visit your kitchen.
But you know, what is the creativity is not to buy, to do a recipe and buy everything as it is and then put things together. The creativity for me is, for instance, when I have groups here and I have leftovers, to find a way to reuse them and make another thing which they don't even notice that are leftovers, you know, and create a new thing of the things which I just have around. So for me, cooking, I need to have a whole lot of stuff in my fridge. And then in the morning, I think, so, and today, what can I do? Oh, I have this, I have this. Oh, let's try out. And normally 95% comes out well. Let's say 90%. Sometimes
okay.
85%.
Thank you very much for your time, guys.
Thank you for coming. Enjoyed your company.
Okay. And I mean, professionally creative, I'm in doing improvisation with my voice, singing, and this I love. I really love. At first, I was so, you know, a classical singer, and I was always bound on the notes and on the scores, and everything must be right. And with the improvisation, it's so freeing, and it's so you can express yourself and you can explore what you want to explore. It's so much more, how can I say, direct. You don't have the score in between and the music you have to learn, but you just bring out your own music. And this is what I really like, really cool. And also help people to do. Yeah.
Nicole, come in, hop in. There is a free seat. And she says cooking is a wonderful expression of creativity. I was thinking there could be a wheel like this, right? There is like sensations, you feel things with the, you know, touch and emotional. You can actually hear things. You can see visual things. You can taste things. You can smell things. So we can use all our senses to be creative. And this is, you know, she says, I would love to, but my voice are so loud now. So loud right now. Okay. But that's also creative, right?
Yes, it is. You know.
Yeah, and Margherita, it's not only the senses which create creativity. You know, we have also this sort of what you are talking often about, the intuition, that you feel that, but not by feeling because somebody is doing this, but feel inside that what you are doing, for instance, when you work with colors, and I did it 20 years ago, and I remember the feeling. I knew that it is not yet right, and I have to do a little this, and a little this, and a little this, and then there comes the moment when it is right, when you feel it right. And I couldn't, you use your senses, you use your eyes, but it's not by the eyes that you know that it is right or not, right. You know, it's by a sort of inner connection, inner feeling of all the things together.
It's a wonderful point. When I play guitar, I play my best guitar with my eyes closed. Great. To your point. Mm-hmm. And that's that I really, you know, I don't overthink it. I learn what I'm doing, but at the same token, the intuition, the intrinsic aspect of it, the creativity, to your point, really tends to come through with not only musicians like myself that close their eyes, but any good musician. You know, they're not necessarily watching every little note they're playing. Their mind is somewhere else. Their mind is creating. Eyes might be open, eyes might be closed. But for me, I find that when I close my eyes, it really can help quite a bit. So interesting point you had.
So mariposa, okay, mariposa means butterfly. Join in, hop in if you can, mariposa. That would be really cool to see you. We didn't have anyone from Argentina, was it, right? Yes, Argentina to be here on our Blab. Well, I meant you mentioned intuition, right? And intuition is very much linked to creativity, because we start out with creativity, and we have this energy that's created when we engage in different things, and then we can feel the gut feeling, like in the belly. We can develop the gut feeling, and that's the first part of getting up to the intuition here. And then there's the psychic ability, right, that some people have naturally. And then we go, because the belly, the solar plexus, and then up here on the crown, right? So the creativity, if we had creativity from the beginning, like Mariposa's, she says about the children here. What's it? I lost the comment there. Maybe we can find it. Yeah. She
says it takes a lot of creativity managing 4 little ones.
Yes, it was Miss Nicolay. All right, now I'm going to look at that. Nicole, was it? Nicole. Yes, sorry about that. And so you have to be very creative with children too. And this is my gift from my parents, that they actually engaged us, because how can you do 5 children? You have to put them to work on something, right? Okay, yeah. So you are a singer, Heidi.
Yes, I am. And I'm a voice teacher. I just saw, I began to do something about voice on Blab. Just before coming in, I saw there is a person who is doing live sessions on voiceover, teaching people how to speak text. Yeah. So that's the first one I noticed, that they are working on voice, while I'm working more on the sound of voice and on the volume, on the likability of a voice. So that means of the groundedness and in the body, if you really have the possibility to access all the resonance spaces in your body. And this is also creative work, because it's not, the guitar in many ways is easier, because you have the strings there and you know where to put the fingers on, and that's it. But with the voice you don't. So you have to access. When I teach, I try out a lot of ways and find out the way which is the right one for the person to understand how to access these things. So for me, it was when I don't teach so much anymore, but I did it for 20 years, and I thought always, this is a school in creativity for me.
Right.
Also for the student, but first of all for me, because I have to find out what is the best way.
Do you want to do the exercise with the drawing, and you make some sounds with your voice?
I don't know. Maybe not today. I'm a little tired. It's already late in the evening, so next time.
I did hear when I was taking voice lessons at one time that not only I was breathing wrong, so I learned to breathe more with my diaphragm than my upper lungs, and to use my lower stomach. I'm a pretty tall guy, so to use my diaphragm, and also that when I was reaching, I was told that when I was reaching for the higher notes, that I was doing it wrong. That she suggested that when I reach for a higher note, to actually reach down for the higher.
Absolutely.
When I reach down for the higher note, it's a lot easier to get than to reach up. It immediately caused me to strain. When I reached down, it was already there. psychologically it was already there because it was down here and I didn't have to reach up for it. So, but it also made it very easier, I should say, to grab those notes when I was reaching down. And then interestingly enough, I'm a real big Beatles fan. I'm sure you probably both are too. And I was listening to an interview with Paul McCartney, and he says he does the same thing. That when people asked him about the high notes, he said, "Oh, I just reach down for them." And I smiled. I thought that was so interesting.
We have Ron Williams here. Welcome. Go ahead.
I wanted to say that it's not only imagination to reach down, but it's really a physical thing. And it's really something you can begin to feel in your body. And the reaching down, the fact that you need to go through your body with your voice is exactly to open all the resonance bodies in your body. Because otherwise, if you put the voice out of your mouth, they reach only the head resonance, and the head resonance is a very high resonance, and it's not grounded. So as long as you imagine to sing or speak outside of your mouth, then you never have your full voice. You have only your full voice when you fill your body with the vibrations. Beautiful. And there are some tricks and tips how to really do it, and not only imagine it. Imagine can help for some people, but some people need really to get the guidance to how to do that. And when I discovered that, nobody had taught me these things. I have discovered it for myself, and I thought, it's working. And then I tried it out with my students. I mean, I must say I had 5 teachers or 6 teachers before, and everybody tried to teach me something. And I thought, that's not my voice. That's not what is in, And when I finally found it and I taught it, I was really astonished how voices develop. It's like they unveil, like they really come into their ease and into their fullness by taking off all these, how can I say, all these layers of wrong tension or even breathing. You say breathing. For instance, I have never taught breathing because for me, as soon as humans put their attention on breath, they get tight. So I create situations where the breath comes automatically in the right position. And then I say, notice, that's it. Remember the feeling in your body and try to find it again instead of trying to breathe in some place,
It's very eloquent what you're saying. Yeah, and I was only like when you said imagining. I was just getting started. I never fulfilled the classes, but I was imagining. So I got started with that, and I love the way you described that. Just what you were saying there about how you want to make it effortless. You want to use your body, but put no effort into it, and to use your whole body. And even people that use their voice for a living, with hypnotherapy or radio, or I see people do shows and all this. You can tell they're really, I don't want to say in control, but they're really using their whole body when they speak, and they're very good orators. What's the right word? They're very very good speaking, using their body, not just using their throat and talking like I am now. I don't feel like I'm using my whole body,
But you have already quite a grounded voice, Okay. It's not bad. The more you are relaxed, if you think about in the morning when you get up, the voice you have in the morning, this is the most relaxed voice.
Okay. So I appreciate. I'll remember that. Thank you very much.
I like my voice first thing.
Oh, my husband says in the background, I even like his voice first thing in the morning.
Well, usually, unfortunately, what I say with my morning voice is, "May I please have some coffee?" So that's usually what.
Oh, you're my kind of guy, the coffee in the morning. Oh, this is so cool. I mean, I just love this platform of Blab. We can go in and they can meet new people and then make connections and talk about. I mean, I couldn't have imagined what we would be talking about. Just having the title of the Blab, and then I think that's amazing. Have you been on Blab a lot, Mark?
Yeah, and for that exact same reason, it's somebody who I follow had mentioned that Blab is kind of like a dinner party, where you're getting together with people and having a real nice conversation, and then you might move over to down the table and have a conversation with these people. It's very informal, but it really brings people together to have. Be as intellectual as you like, or be as creative as you like. But it gives you the opportunity to come in, and if you want to, some people want to move on to a different part. Other people want to all, go to one section of the dinner party. But it's like a party. It really is, and it doesn't have to be a loud party, but a group of people that can mill around. That's the word I was looking for. To mill around and communicate with one another. And that's the social aspect, and then the other aspect is to have organized public meetings. I see some people that are really using this creatively, and I really like that. There's also some people that have a lot more technical knowledge than I do, and they're trying to think of different ways to technically use the platform. Being very creative, coming up with their technical knowledge, and using the quadrants for other things too. Like you mentioned somebody about the voiceovers. That he actually had two. There were two different quadrants using. He had one over here, and they had one over here with a voiceover, and I thought that was interesting. Yeah. So yes, I'm enjoying Blab a lot. It's been about. Oh, what's it been? It's been 37 days.
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
But I like you. I've recognized both you two from Google Plus, which is my home.
Yeah.
Oh, mine too. Really.
Yep.
So we have to circle you there.
Yeah.
Google Plus. Google Plus is my home, but a lot of us enjoy Blab because it has the added benefits of communication.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is easier than Hangouts, and it's more informal, and you would change more easily. No, as Margherita said, every conversation depends on who is participating. When we set up a Hangout, which we have for next Thursday, for instance, another one, then we invite guests and we sort of interview guests and talk with the guests. And the audience is only there as a contributor in form of comments, but they cannot just jump in. I mean, we can also open it to the audience and allow somebody to come in, but normally it's not so easy, it's not so. People have also problems with coming into live Hangouts, all sorts of problems. While here, normally you click on it and it's done. With Hangouts, you have more possibility.
Just going to shout out there, Rob Metcalf, who just joined us.
Yeah, and Tom Carvey. And I saw him also wanting to come in, and then he disappeared.
Yes. I'd like to shout out right away, because when you do that, then maybe they want to stay a little longer, right? So sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. And besides, it's polite. It's like people that have come to your party, and I think it's a good way to look at it. The people that come to your home.
Yeah,
you're opening up your living room, if you will. The backdrop I have is more of, I'm experimenting with different backdrops. Yeah. But you're inviting people into your home for an informal, I think, is the best approach. Mm-hmm. Even if you are recording a show like this, it's more of an informal platform than the other, and the other has wonderful potential for meetings and for formal shows where you have a specific topic that you want to talk about for half an hour or an hour. I do know some people that use Hangouts every Friday for a game show, for example. Every Friday, there's a game show every Friday, which I always enjoy. And a lot of the people that are on Blab enjoy that too. So yeah, they're both wonderful.
Hold on, shout out to Roger Alwan. Welcome. Go ahead.
The playing games is also fun. It's a fun thing to do in your living room. So that's something that I like doing with Google Hangouts is being involved in that community. The user help on over there is really nice too, if you're in the right community.
Yeah. So Alwan, come hop in. There is a spot there. See if you.
We are interested in how the creativity expresses in ourselves and in life, in what we do.
Well, like being in the moment is probably the most creative thing we can do, because then we are present to everything that goes on, and then we are present with what's going on inside and outside, and we're not stuck in like that. That's
so true.
right? Yeah,
it's all about the moment. It's so true. There's what's the one saying, you probably both have heard it, but it'd be nice to say. Let's see.
Wait a minute, Donna McLean is here.
Welcome. Jump in. We have a free seat here.
Yep.
Okay, so go on, Heidi, about that.
No, it wasn't Marcus. Mark wanted.
Well, there was just a quick
something.
saying I heard from somebody that the past is history.
Yeah.
The future is mystery. That's why they call it the present.
Okay. And we have Terry Roberts, too.
It's a present. The present is just that. It's a gift.
Yeah. And let's be creative and find the constellation. We are already 3. We need a 4th person to make a quartet.
Hop on in. And Mark, it's been very, very cool. Oh, Arnold R has joined us as well. There's a free seat, Arnold, if you want to come in. As a hypnotherapist, I think that I can sense that you have this creative voice. It's like you keep the voice like this and you're going and then helping clients to be calm, right, by doing that, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And it comes sort of natural. I can hear that.
It takes a lot of listening. That's it. That's the key, is listening to the other person instead of just listening to the sound of my voice. Okay, I think that's what separates the two factions.
And then we have Frederick Christensen. Welcome.
Great.
Come on in if you like to join us. We talk about relationship with creativity and expression, and we have there has been a lot of great ideas here, especially Mark. You've mentioned some of them, and Heidi as well.
And I like the Frederick, you are from Europe. Jump in. We make the section Europe a little bit stronger.
Well, I'm from Europe too, originally from Sweden, you know. But I've lived here in Kingston, Ontario for 24 years or something like that. Can you imagine what time goes? Norway, a fellow Norwegian, this is our brother, sister country. Yeah.
Okay. And hello from Italy. That's me.
Yes. Awesome.
So, I mean, I'm living in a country which is highly creative. I always thought if Italians had a little bit more discipline, a little something from Germans, they would be number one in Europe, because they find a solution for everything. They are really, it's nothing which they cannot do. Maybe they don't do it very well, but they do it. Sure. And I have people around, a plumber and other person who was an electrician, and he does a whole lot for me. And, there is nothing which is too difficult. Even if he doesn't know, he thinks, oh, no, he always says, I cannot do that. Then I say, I know you can do that. He needs a little bit, some strokes. And then he does it. And then he does it so perfectly, it's amazing. And as a people, they are really, they, how do you say, they don't give up. They, as soon as there is a difficulty in some way, they come over it. Maybe not always in the best way, For instance, now with the high taxes and people have really many poorer people, really, I don't know how they make it to survive, but, they make it in some way. And for me, it would be more important that they protest and that they say, you cannot treat us in this way, for instance, but that's not. But still, they don't die. I mean, they survive in some way. They have a friend and they have a friend and a family member. And so they still help together to in some way get by. And I find it amazing to, they never give up. Never.
It's so cool to actually hear about what's going on in the different countries. I mean, we have Arnold from Morocco. We have Nicole and Mariposa from Argentina, and Norway is here, Italy, Canada, and US.
Isn't it great? This is so. I wrote a blog post today in my website about that. What this technology can create. I was remembering in the 60s between Germany and France, they did an exchange of students to get to know each other and to overcome this image of enemy. And this really has worked greatly. But then you had still to go there and spend money, and it was difficult. Today, with the whole world, we just, sit here on our desk and we get to know each other. And with video, excuse me, it's not only audio, it's not only written, because with a written word, you never know how it is understood. But even when you hear only the voice, you cannot be 100% sure. But when you see also, you see my hands and you see my eyes, and it's a different getting to know other people, which for me has the big chance that we will overcome these ideas of other people or being enemies or not worthy or whatever it is, really that we come into the recognition that we are fellow humans.
Well, there is no difference really between, the skin color or the hair color or the appearance. I mean, if you wasn't it, who was saying that? Like, if you look inside, they have a beating heart and it's filled with blood, right? There's no difference on the inside.
On the inside. But
this is wonderful. Excuse me, what Arnold says. So people working on ending enemy history. I think exactly. We are doing it without knowing it, but we are doing it.
Well put. Very well put.
Well put.
It's interesting that you are living in Italy. Are you in northern Italy or southern Italy or?
In the middle.
In the middle. Okay, Tuscany.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. I enjoyed so much. We spent a week. We went there for the millennium, and really enjoyed that. Some people are very similar, but also I enjoy the differences in cultures. For example, the last morning we were in Venice, we hopped on the train, and then that evening we were in Munich, in downstairs in a beer garden, and it was a wonderful. It was so opposed that the two different cultures were so different. I enjoyed it all on the same day, and then obviously the beautiful train trip. I mean, as you know, just a wonderful train trip through the Alps to get there, and then here we are in Munich, and it was wonderful. So I love the fact that we're all the same on the inside, but the variety of cultures is very exciting. I see it a lot here. I'm sure you see it a lot in Europe too, but in Orange County, California, we're a melting pot of cultures. I enjoy the food is a great example, and as different schools, There's so many different cultures. It's really a wonderful opportunity to experience all that. I really like that. It's very, very positive.
Yeah. And I like it too. And since this technology is around, I'm becoming creative. I never thought I could make photos or stuff, never before the digital area. And now I'm going around and take photos wherever I go, and then I post it on Google+. There are several things about trips we did or little films. I still have to upload some from yesterday in our little village. There was a historic Roman evocation event where they all ran around with, costumes, and they arrived in an old ship on the Tiber, and it was really nice. Today it fell literally into water because it rained, so they couldn't do it today.
Right.
But yesterday I took some little films and photos. It was really nice. Not very professional, but really nice.
But it doesn't really have to be professional. If you catch the creative moment in there, and then people can see it, and it's like in the raw. It's like close up and personal. This is what binds people together. And I mean, let's obliterate all the wars. I think this is it's so much hostility. And if we can connect with each other, in a friendly way, how much more happiness can we have,
Right.
And they say that, it has to be challenges to evolve, right? But that's not really true. If you think of seeds that you plant in the ground and then water them and care for them and, fertilize them, they come up and be very great crops, and they're going to be better individuals when you see. That's the same with people. Then individuals can come up and grow like, beautiful flowers or trees, This is so amazing. I'm so passionate about that.
I want to thank Arvon for following me, and there were other people, Frederick and Arnold, to follow us.
Yes, thank you so much.
Really nice. Thank you. And we are following you back.
And Mariposa, thank you so much to come and see here, and come back later in another Blab. Happy to have you.
Well, I just want to say it's very nice to meet both of you and see you both again. I remember both of you from Google+, and now I hope to see you on Blab as well.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we have, how do you say, we have eaten fire.
Yes. God bless to both of you.
Okay, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Yeah, bye-bye.
Oh, wow. We're coming to the end, I think, of this Blab. And I want to personally thank everyone who has joined us here, and all the followings that you have done and sharing the Tell a Little World. So, and Arnold says, with a little heart, enjoy your day or night.
Yeah, it's coming night. So.
Okay. And then Frederick said, have to leave as well. See you later. Okay. This is so much fun, Okay, Heidi, thank you for being with me. And here we go.
Here we go. Bye-bye.